Hi, my name is James C. Lin of the Raconteur and Racontoria, AFOQNE by Sponsored Anarchy and Absolute Democracy. This video is about building personal computation buffet platters using Missile8964. I'll give you a few examples of how this works. You're gonna love it. Before we get started, there is a precursor video here with this name, All Missile 8964 PCB boards intro. It's basically a list. So as a precursor, it would help if you watch this video first at this URL, okay, on YouTube. As the name buffet platter implies, it means how to assemble a personalized promised land of your own computing, or should I say computation device, the way you personally really love it or want it. This one here, orientations, is just about the basic keyboard area of a notebook. So we call it orientations because it works in two directions. What you see here is what you are accustomed to. That is, you have the keyboard on top, and then at the bottom you have the touchpad area. Now what you see here, because everything is modular and you can replace them basically any way you like. For example, this one here, you have a screen at the dead center where the touchpad usually is, and I've placed the touchpad on the left hand side for lefties, southpaws, who are more comfortable controlling a touchpad with the left hand. And on the right, I have a numeric keyboard here in the landscape orientation for those whose job requires rapid numerical input. Now, there is also another numerical keypad planned in the portrait orientation, which you can take out and place it on the side. Another beauty of this design is, for example, when you have this numeric keyboard here where it may accumulate dust. In this design, for anything that you are not using, just flip it over and it's got the bottom end becomes the cover. On this slide, this is what we mean by orientations. In this orientation, which you can see on only one of the notebook computer brands, I believe it is Asus, where they sell notebook, a creator notebook in this orientation where you have the keyboard at the bottom and then you have a row of screens on top. Now, for us, with the exact same components, we can just flip it around the frame and achieve even better innovation, because you can replace one of the top with other controllers like what we will see next, the music or video editing controllers. Here is the base of the frame, 30 centimeters times 21 centimeters. The thickness is only 0.9 centimeters. Just in case you missed it, this will give you a screen, or shall we say monitor, of about 13.4 inches in a 3:2 aspect ratio, which will give you 17 to 18% more viewing area than 16:9 or 16:10 that you see normally on all of the notebook computers on the market. The first one, we call it the mixer platter. It is for DJs, musicians, and video controllers on the go. So in this 3:3 grid, we placed 2 extra screens and 4 extra speakers and 1 touchpad. Now, each one of these is exactly credit card size. So when you go out with our computation device, buffet platter, just this one alone would give you audio speaker that's never achieved on any portable computation device, any notebook computer. Of course, if you like it, just add another platter of 9 speakers. This next one is called the gaming platter. Now, we made a point of not including dedicated GPU, just whatever internal graphic section that comes with the general purpose CPU is good enough for us. We are not going to raise our next generation of kids hooked on video games, entertainments, okay? So here, very simply, just 2 extra speakers, 1 extra screen. I included 2 Robin SBC boards. They are computers, SBCs, without telecommunication capabilities. No one needs them. It's just for cases when you need or want more computational power. And we included 2 extra batteries and 2 Nintendo style gamepads. Sorry about the one on the lower left. It's supposed to look exactly like the one on the lower right. Just your basic gamepad, okay? This one here, I call it the nomad platter. And this one is for professionals on the go like me. This is actually how I want mine to look like. So here, the biggest difference is I replaced one of the gamepads with a folding mouse. I never personally learned how to use a touchpad, so a folding mouse is essential for my work. Next, here's our storage platters. This is how you reuse your old hard drives and buy new ones cheap. If you are interested in reusing your micro SD cards or your USB cards, there is a dedicated video about this on this playlist. You can take a look at. Basically, you can reuse everything in this system. Here we have the 2.5 inches SATA drives. You can still buy them on the market, both the SSD and HD. They are both extremely cheap now for their capacity, especially the hard drives. The dimension of 10 by 7 centimeter of these drives laying out like this was the beginning of the design of Missile8964. So there you have it. The very basic dimensionality is here. Oh, and just one extra thing. For these 2.5 inches drives, they come in various thickness. So when you assemble them, just assemble the taller ones on the outside 4 corners. It would give you the structural stability you want. These are the old 3.5 inch drives. These are very thick. I remember them to be about at least 2 centimeters. And because we are using exactly the same USB PCB board for everything, so I threw this one in for those who really need big storage solutions and also have old drives like these storing important information, okay? So there you go. All you can eat. Platters. Each is 0.9 centimeters only. So knock yourself out. Bye. Scalability. It is not a new concept. In a nutshell, it is a system's ability to increase its capacity and ability for the task at hand that it already does. The example here is a search engine which supports increasing numbers of users and the number of topics it indexes. So to achieve this task, the system must be able to handle the increased network traffic and also the processing capability in the background. Next, modularity. There are plenty of examples you can find on this wiki page about how modularity is done in all kinds of industries. However, here we will confine the definition to the following. The concept of modularity is used primarily to reduce complexity by breaking a system into varying degrees of interdependence, independence across, and hide the complexity of each part behind an abstraction and interface. In a nutshell, this is the ability of a system to quickly interchange its functional parts, either because the desired functionality changed or some of its parts broke down, and being designed with modularity makes it easier to replace the broken parts. Now, with the definitions of scalability and modularity taken care of, we are going to begin the first combined concept of both. We defined it in a simple sentence: easily add heterogeneous components as necessary. That would expand Missile8964 from a single board computer to the following: a combined laptop, tablet, or smartphone in computing, in vehicle, vessels, and aerospace applications. It will accomplish the following feats: 1. Fly-by-wire. 2. Steer by wire. 3. Brake by wire. And 4, which is the most innovative. 1 is for maintenance, fluids by wire. In medical and pharmaceutical fields, we are able to apply this principle to medical devices and drug administration in the hospital. And finally, in architecture and civil engineering, we are able to apply this to healthcare delivery, logistics, and guaranteed habitat, which is our saga egg. This is an original theory and technology by James C. Lin of De La Contour. Now we flip the two words around and we get scalable modularity. By our definition, in a simple sentence, that is to easily increase specific functionalities or capabilities and, most importantly, capacity as necessary, as required by the task at hand. And here is the same list of industries and technologies that we are applying this to.